You just have to achieve getting lean one time in your life and it will change you forever. And there's three concrete reasons why, starting with the first one, which is the identity you create around yourself. How you feel about yourself when you are lean, it changes everything. You now see yourself as the lean, jacked guy. You're never gonna wanna go back to anything else. I could not imagine going back to being skinny or being fat. I've never really been fat. I've taken the bulk a little too far, but I always revert back to my identity, which is being lean. So on the times when I have taken it too far, I quickly adjust and get back to being the lean, ripped, jacked version of myself. And that's how I see myself. That's where I feel the most confident. It's gonna be a big detriment to your life if you go away from this identity after having created it. It's like being a millionaire and then losing all your money. You would never want to do that. Imagine how much it would suck to have everything you've ever wanted, being a millionaire in the financial realm we're speaking, and then lose it all. That's the same thing that would happen if you went from creating the identity of being jacked, being lean, and then going back to being skinny or being fat. You're gonna feel so shitty about yourself, and there's gonna be that itch under your skin. This is the reason why so many gym guys struggle with taking rest days. This is something that I struggle with, is like, it is harder for me to take a rest day than it is for me to go to the gym, because I just love making progress towards my goals. I love going to the gym. It's an area that I feel so confident in. It's just one of the best things that I do on a consistent daily basis. It's like, to take the rest day is harder than it is to go to the gym. So the identity you create for yourself cements this in your mind. You're never gonna wanna live any other version of reality than being ripped and lean. And for that reason, I built every single one of you an aesthetic body guide transformation, showing you exactly how you can build a lean aesthetic body that girls love. And that's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. And the second reason is gonna be that people treat you 10 times better. You're gonna get so much more respect from people when you are jacked and lean compared to if you're a skinny twig like I was growing up, or if you're overweight and fat. So this is something I've really noticed in my last 4 years of solo traveling. See, when you grow up with your friend group who you hang out with all the time, it really doesn't matter if you're jacked or not once you've made those friendships. But when you have to make friends like this, when I tell you like this, I literally mean I'll be walking in the street with no one because I'm in a new city, and before I get to the club, I have friends. I either see people walk into the same club, talk to them. Online, I make friends. I literally one night made friends with guys who were walking to the same club. They got me into the club for free because they liked me so much and they knew the bouncers. And then they got me into VIP for free because we were chatting more and really, getting along well. And I got into VIP for free that night. This is the type of experience that you can have as someone who is attractive, who's got a great body, who is ripped, who is lean. People just respect you so much more. They want to be around you. I'll give you another example. This summer, I made a bunch of friends up in the city to the north in Sweden. I'm currently not there. I've been away for 3 months, but I'm going back this weekend. And all the guys who I connected with and was hanging out with, having pre-parties with, I never actually got to work out with them or anything. And we were always talking about it though. And still to this day, now that they know I'm coming back, they're like, oh bro, I want to hit a workout with you when I come back. We got to start going to the gym. It's the winter bulk, all this stuff. And they wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't jacked. If I was still skinny and I talked about the gym, they'd think, what is this pussy talking about the gym? He don't got any results. Doesn't even look like he goes to the gym. Whereas when you have the body to go along with it, people are like, oh, fuck, yeah, I need to work out with this guy. What does he know? I want to be around him. I want to be around people who are winning in life, who have results. And that's really the key, is when you have things that are tangible and your physique is the number one tangible metric of success that people can see. People don't know how much money you have in your account. They don't know your intelligence levels. I mean, there's things that they can kind of infer and guess, but the one thing that everyone can see undeniably is your body. And it's the number one area that you need to focus on because it just gives you that social passport that's so invaluable. That's what's allowed me to make these friendships so quickly. If I was fat, do you think in that story where I made the friends, got into the club for free and got into VIP, it would have worked? If I was seriously overweight? No, it wouldn't have. And people just see you differently when you are lean, whereas when you get fat. Because there's been a couple of times where I've taken the bulk too far. So I remember 1 year specifically, I took the bulk a little too far and you could really see it in my face. I remember talking to my mom and she was like, damn, you look fat. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember I also had this picture with my dad and I sent it to my mom and she was like, damn, you look like you got a belly there. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't really care, but it was just like, of course she's my mom and she loves me and whatever, but people notice these things. My family is really like cutthroat. So maybe not everyone's going to be that way, but you'll notice that people start to say things, right? Like people will be like, oh, damn, you're looking a little bit filled in. And if they're pussies, they'll probably just say it behind your back. I actually respect that my parents or whoever, my friends, would say it to my face. Be like, damn, you're getting fat. You got to get on the cut, man. You took this bulk too far. But people start to perceive you in a different way. Of course, the level of fat that I got to wasn't that bad. It was just a little bit, maybe like 18, 20% body fat, but I quickly dialed it back in. Going back to the whole identity thing. Once you realize you've strayed a little bit too much, even if it was with good intentions like bulking and trying to put on muscle, you're quickly going to be like, oh shit, I need to get back to being lean, because lean is where all the results are at. If you have muscle, but you have too much fluff, if you're 20, 25% body fat, it doesn't matter at that point. Then no one cares. You're not attractive. That's the whole point behind being lean, is that it improves your attractiveness so much. And that's what is the key factor that everyone wants and is going for. So that's really what changes. I mean, the way people treat you, the identity you create, and there's one last reason why once you get lean one time, it changes forever. And the third reason is that once you achieve it, it's really easy to maintain. So the hard part is going from skinny to jacked or from fat to fit. Once you get that down, it's not that difficult to maintain what you've achieved. And the thing is, you have all the prior knowledge of what actually works for you in your own journey. So you know exactly what you need to do. There's no excuse as to why you can't continue. It's not like you've never experienced this before. You've already done it. So you know exactly what needs to be done. You know what inputs lead to the outputs you desire. So you're basically on easy mode. And let me give you an example. Remember that where I mentioned I got a little bit too heavy when I took the bulk too far? My mom mentioned my face was a little fat. I had a little bit of a belly. I did take the bulk too far, and I went into the summer. This was 2 summers ago. So I went into the summer at that weight. This was around June when I was that heavy. And I went to Sweden, and in Sweden I drink every weekend. So I'm out partying, and I was able to cut down from about 18 to 20% body fat all the way down to probably around 10 to 12% over the course of 5 months, not even really trying that hard. I just knew that it's a calorie deficit. I have really good intuition on the foods that I eat because I've been tracking my foods for years, or at least I did back in the day. Now I know exactly what I'm consuming, and it's very easy for me to put an intention out and achieve the goal kind of effortlessly. If I want to bulk, I just set the intention that I'm gonna bulk, and things just kind of work out, and I end up putting on size. If I want to cut, I just set the intention. Now it's time to cut. It's a firm decision, an intention that is set. And boom, like magic, a couple months later, I'm cut. I was still eating pizzas, burgers, all kinds of stuff in the mix of that summer, like I was saying, and drinking. And I still managed to drop all the way down to 10 to 12% body fat. So the thing is, once you've achieved it one time, it's very easy to maintain. And if you do stray away from the ideal that you have achieved, it's very easy to get back once again. It's not difficult. You know exactly what you need to do. You've already experienced it. You have all the inputs that lead to the output you desire. So then it just comes down to you being lazy or not and actually wanting it. So if you're not a lazy piece of shit, then it's going to be super easy to maintain. And once you get the results from the real world, like I was mentioning of how it is so impactful socially and the way that you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, all of these things are going to make you never want to abandon being ripped and lean and jacked. It's just, that is going to be the new version of reality that you're going to want to maintain for the rest of your life. And once again, for that reason, I built every single one of you the Aesthetic Body Transformation Guide so you can build that lean aesthetic body that girls love. It is completely for free. It's the first link in the description below.